नाजरीन, इस वीडियो को देखने से पहले इसे लाइक करें और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें।
नाज़रीन, आपको अहम खबर से आगाह करते चले। बिल्डिंग अ कल्चर ऑफ पीस बाय यूपीएफ यूके बरतानिया के शहर लंदन में यूनाइटेड पीस फेडरेशन की जानिब से माहाना पीस फ्रेंड्स इवेंट का इनकाद किया गया, जिसमें यूरोप, मिडल ईस्ट, यूएसए, कोरिया से पीस फाउंडेशन फ्रेंड्स ने शमूलियत की। इस इवेंट की खास बात यह थी कि इस प्रोग्राम के मेहमान खसूसी ऑनरेबल फॉर्मर डिप्टी स्पीकर KPK, जिनका ताल्लुक पाकिस्तान पीपल्स पार्टी से है, फैसल करीम कुंदा थे। फैसल करीम कुंदा ने पाकिस्तान के मौजूदा सियासी हालात पर ब्रीफिंग दी और दीगर स्पीकर्स ने भी अपने अपने ख्यालात का इजहार किया कि किस तरह पूरी दुनिया में अमन पैदा किया जाए। प्रोग्राम के दौरान फैसल करीम कुंदा को अवार्ड से भी नवाजा गया। इस प्रोग्राम को रॉबिन मार्श, मार्गरेट अली, UPF की जानिब से ऑर्गेनाइज किया गया। इस इवेंट में नदीम हयात, औरंगजेब अवान, इल्म लतीफ़, मिस्टर डेविड महरूफ, हाजी मोहिउद्दीन, डॉक्टर दीपक नरवाल ने खसूसी शमूलियत की।
We are live streaming this tonight, so there will be versions of this going across the world. Thank you. So, building a culture of peace. Say, Father and Mother Moon, who are the founders of Universal Peace Federation, they had a sense of what the future world could be like. And particularly they use this phrase quite a lot, this world of interdependence, of mutual prosperity and universal shared values, and universal values. So this phrase is something which is very important to them. And secondly, this issue of being one family, that humanity is one family under a loving, inclusive God. Whether you call God Creator, Jehovah, Allah, whichever name you use, this Creator is a loving being who embraces and loves everyone here and everyone across the world. So when they talk about interdependence, mutual prosperity, universal shared values, they have a sense of how these actually can be implemented, or how they should be implemented. Particularly, there should be production that meets needs. Many times we have excess production or production of the wrong things. We have so much plastic being produced right now, and we don't know how to put on the brake because there's so much infrastructure built up around the development of plastic. But a reasonable consumption, fair distribution. I love the Warren Buffett idea of, you can have as much money as you want in the bank, but you only need one car. You don't need 50 cars because you can only drive one at one time. He says, I have a reasonable house. If the children come or my in-laws come, etc., I can take care of them. I have too many rooms, and there's a lot of cleaning involved. Or the previous president of Uruguay he's the great one, Pepe, right? His limousine was a VW, right? Which he drove himself, and said, "Why do I need more money?" He says, "My pension is enough." He says, "I don't need it." We're very key, very major initiatives. And Universal Peace Federation, particularly the founders, Father and Mother Moon, they were already doing a number of these initiatives and continue to support the United Nations in this outreach and this work. So when we talk about education, about the culture of peace through education, we don't want to just focus on the mastery of skills. I mean, it's very important to have skills, but we don't want, another brilliant Hitler, someone who can produce the next most terrible weapon that can destroy the earth. We don't need those kind of skills.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the opportunity of introducing our esteemed guest. It is, I think, very, very important that whenever a chief guest is going to address an occasion, to introduce him, at least the public is already aware so they can connect with his mind, they can connect with his heart, and they can connect with his soul. Today our guest, chief guest, Pakistan's former Speaker and Deputy Speaker. What is a Speaker of Pakistan does, and what is Pakistan? Pakistan is approximately 5 or 6 times bigger than the United Kingdom. Pakistan population is 5 to 6 times bigger than United Kingdom. So here is a man who is, you could say easily, a speaker of 5 countries, a size of Britain. What does it mean to be a speaker of an assembly of a country? Is this? In a national assembly, you've got people from various parties coming together, putting their viewpoints, some strongly, some viciously. And what does the speaker do? The speaker is there to bring about peace. The speaker's job is to bring peace between leaders, politicians, people walk out of parliament, make sure that they don't walk out of parliament, unite them on a common platform. And to select a speaker, you don't just randomly say, oh, we'll make him a speaker. Most parties, 3 parties, 4 parties, have to agree at times, yes, this person we believe is suitable for the job. Because they have faith and trust in him that he will be impartial, he will show unity, and he will show coherence, and he will keep the house running. Tonight, our speaker is a man who comes from that background. But if I went a little bit further back from him, he belongs to a family in Pakistan from Dera Ismail Khan, which is quite a tribal area, various areas of Pakistan. It has diverse culture within cultures in that area. There was a family, a Maulana, who had his own strict viewpoints of projecting his own political theories and principles, where this particular Kundi family thought, no, this is not the way forward for promoting culture, promoting peace, promoting integrity, locally, nationally, and internationally. So they stood up to this man. Many Pakistan politicians, leaders, and prime ministers stood against this man, and he had defeated them all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman here today, our speaker, not only his father had beaten that person, overwhelmingly standing up, believing in peace, prosperity, and the theme that you've got today of culture of peace. But Mr. Kundi, the son of that great man, also went on to beat that man, despite everybody saying to the Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, this is a young man, there is no way that he could take on this man. He is a mammoth of a person, he's got his own cultures, he is so strong in his own ways, set in one direction. How are you going to have a man who has a vision of listening to many people, respecting many cultures, giving respect to multi-faith, multi-cultures? How is this man going to beat him? She put all of her faith into this particular speaker tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Benazir Bhutto, the twice legendary Prime Minister of Pakistan, who was steamrolling ahead to become the 3rd time Prime Minister of Pakistan, and sadly she was assassinated. Here is a man, many people thought that party was finished, but because of people like this who were the backbones of the party flourished. It went on to form a government, and this particular gentleman becoming a speaker. So today when you hear this man, you're going to listen to this man who has not only been educated in Pakistan with Pakistan education of the country and the nation, but also understands Islam, Islamic values, and understood and studied other faiths. He's also come to Britain to study a very eminent field of law. He came here and studied law, went into Lincoln's Inn, and became a barrister. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, here is a man that if he was in Britain, widely by British Pakistanis such as myself, would have tipped this man to be at a very high post like we have here, Sajid Javed. Someone like this man, in Britain if he was here, that's the type of man we are looking at. He is loyal. He's loyal to his faith, loyal to his culture, he's loyal to multi-faith respect, harmony, unity, and he is also loyal to his party Many of the other parties have said to him, look, come and join us. We'll make you a very high position, we'll give you. And he thought, no. If you don't have integrity, you don't have loyalty, you don't have principles, you don't have the respect for unity and respect for culture, then I think you have no right to come to a stage like this to speak to an illustrious gathering of international community. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for me. I am humbled today to introduce to you today our esteemed guest who have traveled from Pakistan, extended his stay to take this offer of addressing you today, the former speaker. And one thing I would add to you, what is Pakistan? A speaker of a country that is the only Muslim superpower and atomic power in the world with the most formidable army. And when the two people want to pass legislations and they step out of line, here is the speaker who had been casting votes to keep them in line. The most powerful country, most volatile country, most geographically important country. This speaker and the youngest speaker to achieve such a highest post, in particularly in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great honor to introduce to you the former Speaker of Pakistan National Assembly, Mr. Gundi Saab. Okay?
Let you get bored that much, I'll be very brief. Mr. Keith Best, QC, Mr. Robin Marsh, distinguished members, ladies and gentlemen present in the hall, Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Peace be with you. Today we have a illustration gathering of like-minded people present here to support and discuss something close to our heart, the culture of peace. I would like to take the opportunity to especially commend and congratulate Universal Peace Federation for the role in promoting global consensus and their vision of a suitable lifestyle. UPF stand for one family of humanity, that all people have equal and shared value irrespective of their background. Humanity should develop this understanding and live for the sake of others. It is important that we embrace this teaching in order to benefit humanity. This is the fundamental and close to the hearts and minds of the people. Democracy is necessary to peace and undermining the forces of terrorism. We are united in sharing the global and celebrating a culture of peace through education, sustainable economic and social development, respect for all, and celebrating a culture of peace through education, sustainable economic and social development, respect for all human rights, equality between women and men, the principle of racial, gender and religious equality, the principle of political pluralism and tolerance, and the principle of peace, change through democracy, we shall in the end prevail. We will unite the rise of tackling poverty, improving health facilities, education, functional state institution, foreign policy based on prestige and trade link that promote peace between countries. I recall the unquote. Bringing countries together above their conflict require great minds and great hearts. Once again, I would like to thank UPF for commemorating this important day and bringing a diverse setup of people together and giving me the opportunity to address this great forum and the auspicious gathering present. Words from a peacemaker listener, the role of the United Nations is to set the mental clocks of the world leaders from past problems to the present opportunities, and from local power mindset to the global welfare mindset. Thank you all.
Has been building a network of peacemakers around the world, and we're very proud of each. We call it an ambassador for peace. So, an ambassador for peace is someone who lives for sustainable peace in the world. So, we would like to make this award. I'd like to invite Keith Best to come up and Margaret, and we will give this award to you. I think Honorable Faisal Karim Gundi, he's done an amazing job of being a peacemaker. You know, the speaker is often a most difficult position to be. So, don't you think it's well deserved?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Can I ask, Yvonne?
Yvonne? Can you allow this young lady to come forward?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there's
On behalf of the international community also, it gives me great pleasure, and many of our distinguished people present here, and particularly also the British International Pakistani community, I will also ask the Universal Peace Federation to join the United International Community in presenting for outstanding achievement and service for the work of Mr. Kundi for outstanding service and achievement to human rights, peace, equality, multi-faith harmony, and traveling around the world internationally like he is today to promote what he believes in. He installed the value that his parents have installed in him, holding faith very high, peace, unity, integrity, and value, and justice for all and equality. What better to give them this in front of your illustrious gathering here and with these wonderful men who preach peace. Can you please also hand this over to Mr. French? Please.
Thank you very much.
The Chair and thank Mr. Faisal Karim Kundi for having come here today and for also his own distinguished service. I had the pleasure of meeting with him earlier today over a cup of coffee, and he comes from a country that I know well and love extremely well. Indeed, I opened 4 offices there when, as Robin was saying, I used to run the immigration advisory service. And I think sometimes in what I might call the mature democracies like this country, democracy is sometimes taken for granted. We see that very often in low turnouts at elections, people not really bothering to vote. In Pakistan, they know what democracy is and the value of democracy. They've lived for almost half their life under military governments. And so when democracy comes, it is espoused with great vigour and with great enthusiasm. And you see that reflected in the turnouts that you get in the elections in Pakistan.
We say at the end, very end, may there be peace in the heaven, may there be peace in the sky.
Word, culture of peace. Now culture is a thing that exists within communities. So you have a British culture, you have a Chinese culture, you have a Japanese culture. But there's only one culture that prevails throughout humanity, peace. And that's why I'm a Muslim. When the Prophet went to meet the Muslim, now most of the Muslims know this, it's called Isra, he met God. He, British culture, you have a Chinese culture, you have a Japanese culture, but there's only one culture that prevails throughout humanity, peace. And that's why I'm a Muslim. When the Prophet went to meet the Muslim, now most of the Muslims know this, it's called Isra, he met God. He was a human being, but he didn't know how to find God. But he went struggling in, and he found God. He just prostrated and said, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la.
Subhana Rabbiyal.
Glory to the Lord who is the highest, the height of which we may not even comprehend.
Of course.
And then he sat up. And he was so glad that he felt the presence of Allah, God. And he said, At-tahiyyatu mubarak, wa alaykum as-salam. And see the interaction between two people? Peace be upon you. So when I come here first, I should have said to all of you, Assalamu alaikum. As-salam, the peace.
I just wanted to say how deeply touching it was of three speakers taking different ways of telling us the culture of peace. You know, if you let Kipre speak, or if he wishes to speak, there's so much more he does. But then, with his style of speaking, he gave the peace worker that he is. And Robin is just completely addicted to peace. I wish what Dr. Maruf was saying, we could all do it. Bring peace to you, and that I give you back, etc. I wish we could practice it in reality and teach others to do so. I was most impressed with Mr. Kundi's speech. It was brief, but it was so very touching. I felt through the words I understood you to be a man of peace. And I'm very, very proud to meet you. And I would like to send my in-laws. I'm married to an Indian, but he is in, like they have also, sister was in Pakistan, so I went many times. And I'd like to send a picture of me and you and whatever else to say I've met a very nice, peaceful Pakistani man who also happens to be politician. It gives me great pleasure because we don't always hear, like Keith said, we don't always hear good things about Pakistan. But then I know there are good Pakistanis because my family in-laws are Pakistanis. And so I feel it's good that we could hear that. And please continue your good work and continue your good work with UPF as well. And thank you all for coming because we are the peacemakers. Actually, Quran and Hindu praise was said, but the Christian is, blessed are the peacemakers for they will see God. This is very true. If you really work for peace, I have amazing experiences. Sorbin will also testify to the T-Scout, many deep experiences with God. And you know, why am I worthy of this? Why am I worthy of God's grace and God's love? It's because you are a peacemaker. So let us all go there and become peacemakers. Thank you all for coming, and thank you very much for the speakers.